All right, wonderful. So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing well. Today is a super special session, just like every other session. If you go through all of them, you'll see that I've called every session super special because they are. So today's session is going to be more of just like housekeeping more than anything else. We're going to answer a few questions. If anyone's looking for team members or something of the sort, we can put you in contact with them. I also have a few really cool things I want to share with y'all. Anyone that's watching the recording later on as well is probably going to be very excited with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about what we've done so far, what we expect from you moving forward. We'll answer some questions and then we'll go into the team formation stuff and just basically have a chat. This can be anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours long. I guess people watching the recording will know exactly how much time this took. But anyway, let's start, I guess. So, we've been going through the Gaming Academy since basically July. This is our fourth week, I think. We've gone through a bunch of different sessions by a bunch of different uh, professionals in the games industry. We've had chats and we've had a few practical sessions. This week, we're going to get two more sessions on programming, and then next week is going to be the two final sessions. On Monday, we're going to have a super, super fun session with Rami Ismail, Fawzi Musmar, and Osama Dorias. They're going to be answering any questions you have related to games. We're going to have a session called 10 Empty Slides, where you're going to give them 10 questions, and then they're going to answer, yes, Habibi's reunion. So you're going to give them 10 questions, and they will just go and expand on them. Yes, a session with all the Habibis in one, 100%. We thought it would be pretty special if we could get everyone in, and they all agreed, and they're super pumped for it. So that's going to be really, really, really fun. So get your questions ready. Get whatever you have in mind, up and coming, basically, because it's going to be a ton of fun. And I want you guys to take as much advantage of this as possible because it's not every day that you get to talk to all the Habibis. No, 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 it's not 10 questions per person. It is so if you look up Rami's talks and stuff, one of the things he does is he has a session called 10 empty slides, and basically he takes questions from the audience and he puts them on these 10 empty slides, and then he goes through them in a presentation form. So what'll happen is you can come up with a bunch of questions. Everyone can come up with the questions, and then we'll send it to them. So they'll read through them, pick their 10 favorites, and then just talk about them. They can be about anything. They can be about marketing, game design, preferably not programming because that's a bit too technical. They can be about looking at different places to sell your game. They can be about their story into games, etc., etc. So yeah, great, Ahmed. Is that you can come up with 10 or more questions, that would be wonderful. Um, it would be great if we can send all of these questions on the Discord server, specifically in the questions tab. Okay, so we have a questions tab that starts with a red question mark. It's under the important section. So if you'd like, just type out for the Habibis, two dots, and then write the question you have. This way we can just compile them all in one place. All right. I will be reading through all of them and just making sure that they get a chance to see all of them. So it should be great. So yeah, Ahmed, whatever questions you have, and everyone else, of course, whatever questions, just send them over, and we'll share it with them. Okay. So this was the surprise session that we've had set up since the beginning. We just needed to make sure that everyone could be there. Also tell your friends. Anyone can join, that's totally fine. Most important thing is just for them to sign up through the first form that you guys signed up with. All right, just send them the form so that we can send them the information that we have and so that we know who is attending. That would be really, really wonderful. They don't need to, the your friends and the people that are joining don't all need to be again from the Middle East or from the MENA region. They just need to want to make games. But again, because this is like the gaming academy is centered in Lebanon and its focus is on the MENA region, that's basically why we say this. But again, anyone from anywhere can join. Ahla sahla. All right. Yes, so we will get to this question. So this is for next week. Now, when it comes to submissions, what's going to happen is we have an itch.io page that will open up very soon. The way it's going to work is so far you guys have formed teams. You've probably come up with a game idea and you want to move forward with You want to move forward with whatever it is that you're building at the moment, okay? If you haven't started building yet, that's totally fine. You can start building as soon as the Gaming Academy ends. That gives you 2 weeks to build whatever game you're looking to build. We don't have any what's it called? We don't have like any holds on what you can or can't build. Our recommendation is generally to build something small, something fun, and something interesting. Okay, these are the three characteristics of what a game should have. Try to avoid multiplayer because you will spend 85% of your time trying to get the multiplayer program to work, especially if you've never done this before, and 15% panicking over how you still don't have a game. So 100% of the time you use is not going to be on making your game. So make something small, make something fun. If you have a bit of experience making games, then maybe try to create something that's a bit more of a challenge than what you usually get, especially since you can ask us questions in our in the Discord in general. Ahmed, no, there's no need for a GDD. We'll just need a final game, and this is what will get you the certificate at the end. Okay? Again, the game can be extremely small. It can be just a single level where you're just jumping around in it, or it can be a full-on, you know, game like not Skyrim. Please, again, don't try to make Skyrim because that's too big. Just something as simple as a platformer, a twin stick shooter, something of the sort should be enough. Again, if you do want to expand, you can definitely do that. You can also submit projects that you have been working on before, as long as you show us that you've done something uh, with it. No, so you did not write the GDD for no reason. You can submit it on your itch page as well in the download, and we will read it and we will go through it 100%. So yes, GDDs are great and they are a great exercise. So yes, basically the problem with, so for anyone that doesn't know, a GDD is basically a game design document. And the reason we use it is to tell us where the game is going to go and what we're going to do. We do have a few documents that we have used before, and I can share these with you if you would like. This can give you a general idea about how you're supposed to write things, how you're supposed to think about your game. So if you guys request it, I will put it in the resources tab in Discord as well. Okay, or actually, I'll just throw it in homework. This way you can check it out. But a GDD is optional, a game is required. All right. So yeah, we in the previous years we've had game design documents be a submission, because we wanted people to think about their games and have a general base for what they want to do. But again, this year we're trying to be more hands off and let you do whatever you wish to do, which is why we focused more on the game section. So yeah, for the game section, as we've mentioned, we just need you to make a game. It needs to be something that's fun, needs to be something that works, and that's practically it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in terms of the games. Again, as we mentioned before, it's gonna be 2 weeks after the last session. So after Wednesday, you're gonna have 2 weeks to start submitting your game on itch. And you can ask us any questions you want about the engine, about the art, about the music, about where you can get resources on Discord. Usually, again, in the general EN section, general English, is where we'll all be reading. But you can definitely use, for example, the 2D art section on Discord to talk about 2D art and get feedback on it. Especially since a lot of our previous cohorts usually only check whatever they're most interested in. So if you check, for example, 3D art, you're going to see a lot of Basim, for example, over there. He loves to check people's art. He loves to give feedback on it, and he just likes to see pretty things and talk about it. So yeah, that's just an example of how you can look into it. Another tip I have for you guys is please use resources that exist. They are there for you to use them. So don't be afraid or don't be shy about using um, free art assets. Kenny, Kenney .nl is one of my favorite free resources for any sort of game art that you need. Usually he makes like cutesy things. He's got 2D and 3D assets. He's got music assets. Again, they're all available for free. So don't be shy to use them, especially if you're, for example, a team of programmers. If you're a team of artists, don't be afraid to ask other programmers for help or to try to find things online and just copy paste them just to see that they work. But generally, when it comes to coding, it's also good to have an idea about what it's like so that you can create something that actually works the way you want it to. Again, we have people that work with Unity, Unreal Engine, and Godot. We have a few people, if you're interested in using GameMaker, that can also help with this. But generally, I don't know if you want to use GameMaker, especially since it doesn't have too many online resources compared to Godot and Unreal Engine and Unity. Um, what else? What else? What else? Um, all right. So when it comes to GameMaker, we have someone that I can put you in contact with. His name is Cats for Hats. I want to see if I can get him to reply to us right now. I don't know if he's still in the server even. Cats for Hats. No, he isn't. I will add him to the server, and then you can definitely ask him about GameMaker. You're asking, did you mention about the announcement yet? Which announcement? We did like four of them so far. So we've talked about the Habibis, we've talked about what you need to do for your game. And I guess I just want to ask if everyone here at the moment has a team. Is everyone part of a team? Does anyone still need a team? This question also applies to anyone on Discord. So, all right. Uh, so I see Yaman typing in Discord, so we'll see how that goes. Until then, again, if you are missing a few resources, you can either talk to people that needed a team member, and we have sent you guys emails. Oh, wonderful, Yaman. I'm glad that you found a team. Um, I have a team, but yeah, I think we'd be looking for a 3D animator. So is anyone in the call at the moment a 3D animator by any chance? If you are a 3D animator and you're looking for a team, or you know someone that's a 3D animator and is willing to participate, please put them in contact with Ahmad. Ahmad, what's your Discord username? This way we can just add it as well. Uh, Aslat, you have a question? Okay, yes. So I will post your username in Discord as well. It's looking for a 3D animator. I just won't dox you on on the call. Hisham, go for it. I will mute and you can talk about it. Hisham, can you unmute or no? Okay, so Hisham is asking, can we use a prototype that we already made in another game jam? So you can, but we need to see what the previous game jam was like to see how well you've sorry, to see how well you've progressed in the game. So as long as we see that there is progression from what you've built before, totally fine. Please go for it. Okay? Chimi on Discord has a question. I have a question about the Google form. We recently just made a team, but the Google form is closed. Yes, the Google form is closed, but you can still form a new team, so that's totally fine. What you can do in this case is when we open sorry, when we open our itch.io page, what you can do is you can basically just upload the game there and then say that I am like you can basically just say over there who your new team members are. Generally, the reason we needed the first form is just to see interest, to see how many people are still following along, to see how many people are actually interested in making games. So yeah, that's more or less the point of the first form. So don't worry about it. Does this answer your question, Chimi? Wonderful. All right, it's great. Hisham is also asking, me and my teammate have zero background in gaming as we are taking this opportunity to learn. Um, one moment. Okay. As we are taking the opportunity to learn, we need more people if possible with knowledge so that they can help us. Our game is a survival first-person shooter game. So, generally in a case like this, it what you would need to do is you need to pitch your game correctly to anyone that's interested in helping you out. Because, for example, I wouldn't be interested in working on a first person shooter survival game because I don't play first-person shooter survival games. So you would need to pitch it to someone who likes these kinds of games and is willing to help create your vision. If this isn't the case, and since you've never made a game before, it's very, very fine to join another team instead of working on your own game, just so that you can gain enough experience to work on the game you are interested in. Having said that, what engines are you using and what like resources are you using? Because I will be able to provide you with resources to create whatever game it is that you're trying to make. For example, if you're using Unity, we already have a bunch of tutorials from last year on how to use Unity and how to start working on it. We also have okay, you're using Unreal Engine. So in the case of Unreal Engine, I'm personally not very good at using UE. So I would say ask for help in the Unreal Engine chat, which is under the development section in the Gaming Academy Discord. Using blueprints is a great way to go because that's what will help you actually uh, not code generally. Um, so also because you're using Unreal Engine, they already have like really good characters and the character scripts that you can use to make sure that your character is up and ready to go and start shooting. Um, so yeah, also CP says, I think you should talk about it and see if a dev is interested in your idea and what you're trying to do. Also, I think you should allow the experienced person that wants to join to lead the development in order to try to finish this online. That is relatively true. Um, but at the same time, you want to make sure that the kind of people you're choosing on your team are people that you can mesh with and people whose vision you agree with, or that they agree with your vision. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be working together to create one big project. So yes, and I think in this case, what you would need to do is to make something very small, like very, very, very tiny. Okay? Yes, 100%. You do need a unified goal. So in this case, what I would do is I would go to YouTube and I would type out first-person shooter controllers in Unreal Engine. So first person, I know you can't see my screen. First-person shooter Unreal Engine. And then I got a tutorial that has 72,000 views called How to Make a First-Person Shooter Game in Unreal Engine 5 Full Beginner Course. It's an hour and 57 minutes long, so basically 2 hours, and it practically teaches you everything that you need to know. Again, considering it has 72,000 views, I'm pretty sure the guy that's making it is good at what he is good at teaching, basically. There is another video that has 196,000 views, which is 2 minutes long, called Create a First-Person Shooter Game with Unreal Engine 5 for Beginners. So that's also probably divided into multiple sections where you can watch each of these. Um, there's another one, oh, it's by the same guy called Virtus Learning Hub, that has again a bunch of series on how to do this. So basically, a survival first-person shooter is something that exists, and you can definitely find a ton of tutorials online. I'm gonna send you the links that I just clicked as well, so that you can take a look at them. Generally, when it comes to learning how to make games, you just have to follow the tutorial at first until you get to a point where you're comfortable enough to work on something yourself. Once you're comfortable enough working on the thing that you're looking at, is when you start experimenting. So it's kind of like playing a survival game of sorts. At the beginning of a survival game, you have no idea where you are. You don't know what's around you. You barely know how to use the resources. So the first thing you do is you try to explore. You try to understand what's happening. After you're done exploring and you have a general idea about how to go along with this, you start to expand. You expand on the region, you expand on your knowledge. Then you exploit the knowledge that you have so that you can basically build whatever you can with the building blocks that you've collected so far. Okay? Uh, so my suggestion for you making your first FPS shooter survival game is one, let create a character. Two, move that character. Three, let this character shoot a gun, and make sure that the gun actually aims where you want the character to shoot. And four, create enemies for you to shoot. Okay? Once you have these 4 points, you practically have the core of your game ready. From there, you start to expand and grow your game out. So this is when you start adding more levels. Sorry, not more levels. This is when you start adding an environment. This is when you start creating different levels. And this is when you start creating a start, a middle, and an end point for your game. When you're done with this part as well, is when you start expanding on that, and for example, adding new weapons, adding new types of enemies, etc., etc. So just start with one small thing at a time. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Get your character to move, get your character to shoot, add an enemy, and then after you're done with these 3 points, you add a you start to add the environment, and then once the environment is done, you start adding more enemies or more guns. You can choose which one you want to start with first. Okay? And again, start small. Whatever you think is small, start smaller. Next question. I hope this was helpful, Hisham. And again, if you need technical help from the Unreal Engine standpoint, just send it into the Unreal Engine section on Discord, and I will tag the right people for you to help you out. Mariam says that my team and I also have zero experience and would like resources. We want to use Godot. So what kind of game are you thinking of making? Um, Godot tutorial. Okay, so depending on the kind of game you're trying to make, all you would need to do is basically Google make blank game with blank game engine. At the same time, sorry, one of the biggest game developer tutorial people online is this guy called Brackeys, and Brackeys disappeared, but suddenly came back, and he was like, "Guys, I'm gonna start using Godot or Godot or the game engine." um, that everyone's using basically because it's an open source, free, beautiful engine, and he started teaching it again. He is one of the most watched game developer tutorial makers online. That was a weird sentence. بس ماشي الحال. Yeah, and as you can see from this tutorial that he has 1.6 million views on his basic introduction to Godot. Again, we also have our own personal Intro to Godot section that Kareem gave like a couple of weeks ago. So if you follow that, this should give you the basis of how to build a game. So you want to make a game that's like a parkour slash maze type of game with a story, maybe. Okay, so as I can see over here, you have a general function in mind, but you're not sure exactly what your game is about. So I would say pick a verb. Okay, when you pick a verb, you're going to decide what is the action that you're going to do. So if you're going to make a parkour game, your verb is going to be something along the lines of jump, maybe run, maybe slide. It might be something along the lines of running, just running fast, for example. So depending on what kind of game you're doing, you're going to have uh, a certain function or a certain base that you want to build on top of. Yes, I do agree with what CP said. Which is try to make a game based on whatever skills or resources you have. That's 100% true. Considering that you're just starting out, I would say try to create just the maze section of the game and not the parkour section of the game. And try to make it, instead of starting with Godot, start with a piece of paper. So you can't see because the background is weird. Okay, so when you want to start creating any type of puzzle game, you don't need to start doing it directly in Engine. You can start by making it inside your what's it called? You can do it on a pen and paper. You know, just like grab a pen, grab a paper, and then draw the maze and be like, okay, so the player is gonna see. So if you have the notebooks with like squares in them instead of just lines or just like an empty page, look at the squares and say, for example, we're gonna have a camera that can see 3 squares down and 4 squares across. So it's gonna look like a rectangle of sorts, kind of like this. Okay, and in this rectangle, we're going to show the player this much of the game, and we're going to create puzzles, and the puzzles are going to be mazes, and this is what the maze is going to look like. And these are the kind of things people will need to do to finish the level or to win the maze. Okay? After you do this, you're going to try to see if this is interesting. Um, Again, you might not be able to play it yourself, but what you can do is, for example, you can have a piece of paper, okay, and you have the paper on top of it where you just cut out a hole, which is the size of the camera, and then you ask someone to move this paper along to see if they're able to cross the maze or not. So this is basically going to be your paper prototype. It's very basic, it's very simple, but it's enough to test out if the game is fun. Okay? After you're done testing out your paper prototype, then you can start coding. The reason we do these paper prototypes is because it's super quick, it's very easy to iterate, and you don't feel bad if you want to throw it away and just try something new. Again, CP says try to work iteratively also. Don't try to make something very beautiful from the first attempt. Just use white boxes, 100%. That's basically why I suggest paper prototyping. It's because it is the first step and it's the easiest way to start creating something that's pretty basic. Um, all right. So other than this, when you're done actually creating this basic thing on paper and you're happy with it, um, the section after that is to start creating whatever game it is that you want to do. This is again what I said to, was it Hassan? Was it no Hisham? Sorry, Hisham. So we have to think of what is the verb that the player is going to do. So if all the player is going to do is walk, then all you need to do is build a nice walk to start out. If the player is also going to jump or maybe hit some buttons or maybe interact with a wall or maybe climb, then these are also things that you need to think about. Think of as little things as possible. So maybe just start with walk and jump, okay? And then create a maze around that. If you're done with this maze, then maybe you can go from walking and jumping to also climbing. Maybe you're going to add buttons to push. Maybe you're going to um, I don't know, slide, just like we mentioned, since you wanted to make a parkour kind of game. So depending on the kind of idea you have, start with one function, like again, jump or walk, and then build a maze around it. We do show you in our tutorial, the one that Kareem did, how to create a level and how to create a character and how to get them to jump and to move around. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of that to kind of create your first puzzle game. Okay? Maria also sent a wonderful channel to teach you how to use Godot. So thank you so much, Maria. If you can also send it my way on Discord, that would be great, and I can probably add it in the lecture. For those of you that will probably remind me that I didn't add it, the YouTube channel is called Godot Engineers, Godot. Sorry, Godoniers. So Godotneers. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee. Um, anyway, so yes, okay. So Maria, Maria, I'm sorry. If this is good, then I hope it was helpful. But yeah, think of a basic idea. Try to implement a tiny, tiny bit inside the game engine. Look up tutorials for whatever this tiny, tiny bit is, and then start building and expanding. All right. And again, if you need anything, we have a Godot channel, and you can ask whatever you would like over there. Um, I'm gonna check Discord for a second. Okay. Discord seems good, which is wonderful. Do we have any other questions? Is anyone still missing a team member of sorts? Okay. All right. So other than this, great, wonderful. Thank you, Yaman, on Discord. Other than this, generally whatever pieces of advice I have to give you, the first one is be proud of whatever it is you make because you're gonna make something small. Sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you're gonna get frustrated, sometimes you're not, and that's very, very, very fine. I wouldn't worry about doing mistakes. I wouldn't worry about causing problems. All you need to do is submit something. As long as you submit something and this something works, you're good to go. And basically, I'm going to take Hisham's example again. Let's say you're making a first-person shooter. What I need to see is I need to see uh, the gun, the hands, and I need to be able to walk around. I need to be able to shoot something, and the something needs to die. If you can do all of this, then you've practically created a successful prototype. Okay, this is the bare minimum. In the case of Mariam, I'll want to see a character, and I want to see the character move. I want to see the character jump, and I need to see a maze where I don't need to walk in a straight line to complete. So maybe have like one corridor that's in the right way, another corridor that's in the wrong way, and then if I choose the wrong one, I'll need to backtrack and move back. Okay? So if you do something as basic as this, that would be considered successful. as a basic prototype, and this should be enough. Okay? Does this make sense to everyone? Wonderful. Okay, great. Um, okay, so I have maybe two more questions for you guys. The first question is, how are you guys finding the sessions this year? If you've been at the Gaming Academy before, you've probably noticed that we've had less sessions this year than before, and this is because we wanted to make sure that you actually enjoy your summers this time. So let me know if this was good, if this was bad, anything that we can do to make it better for you, anything we can do to help out, let us know. Um, so if you feel like we need more tutorials on something specific, if you feel like you needed some resources, if there was anything that was a bit just not very focused or something of the sort, let us know. And we still have time. We can still do things better. Or if it's not for this year, it's for next year. You don't need to tell us now, but the earlier the better, because this will help us improve for later on. And for anyone watching this on YouTube, you can also just type it in the comments and we'll see how we can help and make things easier. Um, okay. This is the second thing I wanted to mention. This is one of the things I wanted to mention. Um, okay, Ahmed said that he preferred the sessions and assignments like last year and would appreciate if there were more sessions that tailored to different people. Okay, that's very fair. You would love hands-on sessions for game design and conceptualization. This is a question that you can say for the Habibis because they will give you a great way of creating this. Um, so generally when it comes to game design and conceptualization, I do recommend to look into either the game developers conference videos. The Game Devs of Color conferences also have like a lot of really nice game design sessions. Looking into any of the Gamescom sessions are also, sorry, the DevCom sessions are usually really good when it comes to game design. Um, and I'm trying to think if there's anything specific that I would also recommend. Yes, when it comes to game design, the book called The Art of Game Design, here it is, The Art of Game Design, is a really, really good book to read. It's not hard, it's really in depth, and it gives you a general idea about all the different parts of game design. Um, I really, really like the way that the book is formatted. You can read any chapter you want. You don't need to read all of it, and it will help you grow as a designer. Honestly, it's helped me a ton, and I can probably give an impromptu game design session right now. Um, as a tip for game design, the first thing you need to do is find the core of your game. Then you need to build around it, and then you need to playtest it as quickly as possible. The faster you playtest, the faster you check if the game is fun. When Steam was making when they were making Portal 2, they started playtesting the game with people from outside their core team, um, 2 weeks into making their game, which is so early. Now they do have infinite resources and infinite money, so they can technically do this, but we can't. So, yes, Jesse Chell is also a really, really, really good uh, developer to talk about. So, Walid, thank you for also sharing this. Jesse is a really, really good author. Oh, Jesse is basically the one that wrote The Art of Game Design. I was also thinking of someone else. I'm looking to the side because I have my books next to me, so I'm just giving them a look. But yeah, I do really like this one. Um, okay. But yeah, also the book covers everything from how to think of a game to how to present your game to how to pitch your game, etc., etc. So definitely something to look into. Mariam is asking if we need to have a homepage and a replay button and a menu with settings and stuff. So you don't, as long as the game works. But if you do, it's always good to look into it. And again, if you're using Unity or something, we do have tutorials on that. If you're using Godot or Unreal, we can send you resources for that. Ahmed said he's fond of the current format as he hates multitasking with the grad project, but he'd also be interested in seeing more sessions. Okay, that's very fair. And then Ahmed also mentioned more advanced sessions for more advanced people. and sessions for beginners, and sessions for 2D and 3D artists, and sound and game designers. Yes, I agree, honestly. If we had more of these sessions, that would have been amazing. But unfortunately, due to the current lack of resources and lack of time, we had to kind of scale down as well and see how it went, basically. Um, okay, what else do we have? Yes, Ahmed, I do agree that sound design is an extremely important element of every game. But unfortunately, we weren't able to find, like, basically, our previous sound designers were not very free to give a session on sound design, which is really unfortunate, to be honest, because I usually like to cover uh, the entire spectrum of what games is. But again, time time was not on our side, unfortunately. But yes, this is something we will consider and we'll try to fix for next time for sure. Okay. So do we have any other comments, anything that we could do? Uh, I will, by the way, be writing all of these down so that we could do better the year after and all that stuff. I don't think we've ever talked about 3D modeling and 3D animation. Yes, we did not talk about either of those things because we have sessions from previous years recorded and placed on our YouTube channel. So you can check them out over there if you would like. One of them was given by, where is he? By Yusuf, who is currently in the call as well. We have another one given by Bassem, and so you can check them out and see what the animation and modeling sessions are like. But I guess for next year we can try to cover each of these topics individually, and try to make sure that you have a general starting path for each of these things. Um, okay. So the final thing I personally wanted to mention, and this is super important, it's that we are launching something called the Game Dev Initiative for the Global South, or GIGS for short. So what GIGS is going to offer is a mentorship program at the moment. Later on, it's going to cover live and pre-recorded courses and a job board. Our focus is going to start on the MENA region or the SWANA region, and then we will expand across the rest of the Global South. But again, since the Gaming Academy did start from here and I'm from here, this is why we're starting from this area. So at the moment, the mentorship program is open. So if you are either a mentor or someone that's looking for mentorship, you can join. We are going to try to cover all aspects. So all we will need from you is to tell us what you're interested in being mentored in. We aren't taking teams, we are taking individuals. So if, for example, you are part of a team, you can join and bring in your interests into, or like, sorry, whatever you learn from your mentors directly into your team. This is going to be a free program, so you don't need to pay anything. All you need to do is pay attention to your mentor. And mentors, same thing. Since it is a free program, we are going to be helping you. Just make sure that you get matched with someone that you can work with, someone that's fun to be around, and we're going to move forward with helping grow the games, practically the industry, yani, in the MENA region at first, and then the world after that. I will also be sending the link. I wonder if I can send it right now, actually. This way you can sign up if you would like. But basically, we currently have mentors from practically all over, which is great. We are looking for people interested in, again, all aspects of games. So, Ahmed, whatever you're most interested in doing. So, for example, you are a sound designer and a game designer. But if you're interested in, for example, improving your sound design section, we will be matching you with a mentor that knows about sound design. If you're interested in game design more, then we'll find a mentor that's interested in game design and can help you out. Sorry. Also, you can be both a mentor and a mentee if you're interested in doing something better in your own field, or you're trying to learn a new field and you also want to help someone out in whatever field you're already good at. So you can basically work on this. I am sharing the link with you right now. Uh, I'm gonna send it on the Discord chat and on the Teams chat. So, one, two, three. This is it. Um, Generally, we're going to be expecting for the first year, we're going to look at 200 mentees and 50 mentors. So it's going to be a 1 to 4 ratio. But if we get more mentors, then that's going to be easier for you to actually meet with them. The meetings are going to depend on whenever you and your mentor can meet and whatever kind of mentorship session or section you would like. So if you're interested in being mentored by like meeting with your mentor once a week, twice a week, once a month, it's up to you. The program is going to stretch for 6 months, and we want to see you progress and use up your time as pleasantly as possible. So we want you to be um, excited. We want you to be happy. We want you to be comfortable with your mentor and with whatever goals you wish to reach. Now, remember, I said that the mentorship is going to be one-on-one and not per team. So, what this also means is, technically speaking, let's say you're a team of five, all five of you can apply for whatever roles you're interested in, and we will try to match you with the mentors that you are looking for. So, if you're a team of one artist, one programmer, one game designer, and one musician, and one business person, for example, we will try to match you with mentors that are specialized in each of these five things. So yeah, Ahmed's saying that I'd love that right now, especially since my goal is to make it in the industry and find a job, which I've been having a lot of trouble with. Yes, I completely understand, to be honest, and this is why we wanted to make this program. We want to introduce you guys to people from either in the region that are working in either your home countries or people that are working abroad and can connect you with people that can get you to the jobs that you need. The mentors are also going to be experienced in their own fields, so they will let you know what it is that you're missing in order to have a stronger portfolio, in order to start your own game company, in order to do something that you are lacking or what you were missing. And maybe they'll hurt your feelings and tell you that given that you are from blank country, it's going to be hard to move to insert first world country name here. So instead, you should probably look into this place and that place. And that's totally fine because you will be able to grow. You'll be able to strengthen yourself in wherever you are at the moment. And then from there, you'll be able to go wherever it is you would like to go. Is there a page for that beside the form that I can send to my friends? Yes, I will send you our Twitter at the moment, and our website is under construction, so I won't be able to send this one yet. I'm also going to send you our uh, 1 second. This is basically the form for both English and Arabic. Can I sign in from the mentorship even if I'm not from the MENA region? Yes, you can sign up, but we will be giving priority for people from the MENA region. So, but definitely sign up. And we also have an Instagram. So, gigs, Instagram. I will send you our Instagram as well. And basically, if you all can share it widely, voila. If you can share it widely, that would be amazing because the more the merrier. The stronger we can all get in the region, the better. And it's just super duper exciting. So might as well do what we can to strengthen both ourselves and our friends in the games industry. Okay. Again, if we see that there's a lot of interest and a lot of excitement coming in, then we'll see if we can, for example, expand. But that is left to be decided. Especially again, since we're doing this for fun for now, because we want to help the region, because we want to grow the games industry here. If you're also interested in volunteering, we have spots open for everything from graphic design, from programming, so working on the website, from TikToking, and basically creating social media posts. Tons of stuff are open, so if you want to help, you're also more than welcome to do so. Sarah's asking if we can join if you're complete beginners. Yes, you can, but you need to show that you're actually interested and motivated in working towards your dreams and your goals. And this comes from proving that you are willing to put in the work. And this can be either through the game that you're going to make at the gaming academy, or it can be through other things like a certain portfolio piece if you're an artist, or, for example, a certain, again, music piece if you're a musician, etc., etc. Oh, I forgot to send these on Discord. Silly me. Um, Okay, so this is the Instagram. This is the Twitter. Um, but yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, Gigs is currently going to offer a mentorship program, and later on, we're going to be offering courses that will um, be set either in your local language or in a language that people speak locally. So, we are looking into creating Arabic courses, for example, especially again, uh, Arab region at first. We're going to be looking into different languages as well. So, if you have a certain course that you're interested in, then you can tell us and then we will match you with it. One of the things we're also planning on doing is making sure that we can help whatever talents you grow um, get you into the industry. So let's say, for example, we see that, I don't know, mobile games are booming, for example, then we would be offering courses and mentorship specific to creating games in the mobile space. So whether you're an artist, a musician, programmer, etc., we'll tell you, hey, this is what's happening in the region, this is what's happening in the world. Maybe you should look into this, but we won't force you to do anything, of course. Sarah says, I won't be able to make a game for the Academy. That's totally fine, I understand, but you need to show us that you're actually interested in growing yourself. And from there, we'll be able to either accept or not accept you at this stage. And again, this is going to open multiple times. This is just going to be our pilot project. So if it's good and it's exciting, then you'll see us next year. If it isn't, then we'll probably just disappear into the void. But you guys won't let that happen. So so it's gonna be good, I think. Um, and yeah, I think that's basically what I wanted to talk about. I should have probably talked about this at the beginning, but that's okay. Do we have any questions about this? Is anyone excited about this? Is anyone looking forward to something specific? Let me know. And if not, then I think that's basically it from my end. Um, we covered everything from what the Gaming Academy is at, the games that you need to submit 2 weeks after it ends, so approximately end of August. Um, we talked about teams and we talked about gigs and we talked about the Habibis. Yeah, is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about? Any questions you have? Let me know. If not, then this was basically the session, and that's about it. Great. All right. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Take care. See ya.